in honor of September and the start of fall, we're drinking a witch's brew Alani today. Cheers. Hey guys, it's Bex. Welcome to another video and another TBR jar video. Today we're going to be letting our TBR jar choose our September reads. As I just said, I think that September is the start of fall, and I also live somewhere where it starts feeling like fall as well in September, I would say. So I'm probably going to be trying to choose maybe at least like 1 or 2 fallish books this month to kick it off, because I have quite a few that I want to get to this fall season. But just in general, we have a lot of books on our physical TBR. August was my birthday month and I got quite a few new books. So yeah, we do have a pretty full cart. However, this is all of the books. I don't have any on the back. I moved kind of my less priority ones to the bottom shelf, and this shelf and this shelf are mostly my priority. As usual, before we start choosing prompts, I'm going to tell you guys how I did, or mostly put it on the screen, how I did on my August TBR. A little bit less successful than July. I think I read half, maybe. So not horrible, but not great. And then the last thing I want to talk about before I choose some prompts is the book that there's two books that I'm definitely going to be reading in September. So the first one is Rose in Chains by Julie Soto, and the reason for this is because this was chosen for me by my physical TBR wheel. You get the gist by now if you've seen my last 3 TBR videos, or this one and the last 2. It's just a little fun thing I'm doing to try to read the books on my physical TBR, and this is the one it chose for me. So a little bit about this book. I don't know too much, but it says right here, a dark romantic fantasy. It weaves a spellbinding tale of love, hate, and explosive magic. Then the inside says, the war is over, the dark forces have won, and the hero who was supposed to save them is dead. That's gonna be the first book, so we're gonna keep it up here. And then the second one, I still need to pick up from the library, and I was going to today, but it's Sunday today and they're closed. But I am going to be picking it up tomorrow, and that is my book club book for the month of September, and that is Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. Is that her name? I'll put it on the screen for you guys. And I think that is like, is it a mystery thriller? Honestly, I'm kind of going in blind, but name twins. My name's Rebecca, if you didn't know, which you might not have. That's really all I know about that one, so I can't really talk too much about it. But with that being said, the intros to these videos now are really long because I have to talk about all of those things. But 5 prompts. Not really sure what I'm specifically in the mood for, except for some fantasy like usual, maybe continuing a series or 2, and then, as I said, maybe getting like 1 or 2 more fall-esque books, but we'll see. A book that gives me FOMO. Okay, so a book that I basically just feel left out because I haven't read it yet. So probably meaning like a really popular book, a book that I feel like everyone has read but me. I feel like I got some options on here, but maybe not too many. I feel like If We Were Villains would probably be a good one for that. The Love Hypothesis. And then maybe from up here, The Night and the Moth, just because it's like a newer release. And even though it hasn't been out that long, because of that, I feel like everyone read it like right when it was released, and I'm late to the party already. If We Were Villains and The Night and the Moth would both kind of be checking off a fall-esque book, but something about If We Were Villains just gives me more, well, I actually don't know, because it's like dark academia and school starts in like September, so that actually might be good for September. But besides that, it gives me more like October, November vibes for some reason, maybe more October vibes. But I don't think I'm in the mood to read The Love Hypothesis right now. I could also, of course, do like a Frederick Bachman book. I have 2. I have Beartown and A Man Called Uva. But I think I'm going to choose The Night and the Moth, and this is probably not a good decision because this one and Rose in Chains are both like brand new to me. So should I be reading books that I've had longer? Probably. But I also want to read books that I'm excited to read. So yeah, we're gonna go with this one. The cover is beautiful. I'm still sad, if you saw my book haul, that this one doesn't have the pretty sprayed edges, but that's okay. It's still pretty. And this is, I believe, like a dark kind of gothic fantasy with some romance. pretty end papers. It says, it's a gothic mist-cloaked tale of a young prophetess who is forced on an impossible quest with the one knight whose future she cannot see. Sybil Delling has spent 9 years dreaming of having no dreams at all. Like the other foundling girls who traded a decade of service for a home in the great cathedral, Sybil is a diviner. In her dreams, she receives visions from 6 unearthly figures known as the Omens. From them, she can predict terrible things before they occur, and lords and common folk alike travel across the stone-watered kingdom's wind-swept moors and craggy mountains to learn their futures by her dreams. Just as she and her sister diviners near the end of their service, a mysterious knight arrives at the cathedral. Rude, heretical, and devilishly handsome, the knight Roderick has no respect for Sybil's visions. But when Sybil's fellow diviners begin to vanish one by one, she has no choice but to seek his help in finding them. For the world outside the cathedral's cloister is wrought with peril. Only the gods have the answer she is seeking, and as much as she'd rather avoid Roderick's dark eyes and sharp tongue, only a heretic can defeat a god. That was long. I'm out of breath. So it sounds like there's even like a little mystery in there because they're trying to figure out where Sybil's fellow diviners vanished off to. So that sounds really good. One thing about Rachel Gillig, from what I've read of her so far, which I honestly don't even know if she has other books, but the One Dark Window, Two Twisted Crowns duology by her was really good, and the fantasy kind of magic system was really unique, and this one sounds like it's going to be as well. It doesn't sound just like a copy and paste of anything else I've read, so really excited for this one. I have high hopes, which sometimes is not good. I need to bring my expectations down a little bit. That is gonna be the second book on our September TBR. Yay. Book that matches my outfit. Okay, I guess I'm kind of glad that I kept this sweater on. I was cold earlier, so I put it on, but I'm literally just wearing a black mini dress and a greenish sweater. So black and green, or really even just like black would work. Let's see what we have. I would love to continue the Aurelian Cycle series, which is Flamefall and Fury Song, but the next book in the series is the bluish one, and the third book in the series is the greenish one. Let me just double check. Oh, wait a second. That actually does have green too. I'll keep it out because it's not horrible, but obviously I'm not wearing any blue. This one's also blue. Ooh. Kind of. I mean, this one is like, I guess there's no really specific black though. It's more like green and blue, and then her hair is like gold. So not really. No, I don't think this one has any green. No. The green is throwing me off for sure. When the moon hatched, blue again. Like, what is up with black and blue covers? Oh wait. No white, except I am wearing white slippers. Which one? I would honestly be happy with either of these because they're both continuing a series. This was on my August TBR and I didn't get to it obviously, so it would be good. And this is another new book that I just bought. This one has more black. So to be honest, I think I'm gonna go with Flamefall, which I am not mad at because I absolutely devoured the first book, Fireborn by Rosaria Munda. Again, this is the Aurelian Cycle trilogy. It is a young adult fantasy with subplot of slow burn romance. I gave the first book 5 stars. It deals with dragons, dragon riders, these 2 teenagers trying to climb the ranks in the dragon riding regime, and the old regime resurfaces and there's a war basically, and we have found family. It was just absolutely amazing, and ever since finishing that a couple months ago, I was itching to continue, but I didn't own the rest of the series, but now I do, so I can finally finish it. All right, that wasn't too much of a fail. Usually my book that matches my outfit prompts fail because I'm a very basic dresser in terms of like colors and patterns usually, so we made it work. Oh, I forgot this one was even in there because as you can see I'm getting low, but free pick, that is my favorite prompt, of course. Ooh, what am I going to pick? I honestly probably, to be honest, would have chosen either of the 2 books that are already on my TBR for this. So we're already looking good on our TBR. I kind of have the inkling to read Immortal Consequences by Ivy Marie. However, I believe it is the first book in a new series, but maybe not. But even if it is, it just came out. So it's not like the same thing as starting a new series where there's like 5 books already out or the series is finished. And so then I have just a bunch more books to read before I finish it. You know what I'm saying? And I also feel like this might be a good September read because it is in an academic setting. And I don't know if it's YA. I think it is YA. Oh yeah. It literally says right here that it's the Young Adult Good Morning America book club pick. But it says, welcome to Blackwood Academy, the legendary school located on the fringes of the afterlife. Once a pupil enters the academy's gates, there's no way out except for the decennial, a once-in-a-decade celebration in which a single worthy student is tested and given a choice. Graduate and join Blackwood's magical elite or cross over to the mysterious other side. This time, though, the rules have changed. This decennial isn't a celebration, it's a competition, and there can only be one victor. You know what? I think I'm just gonna choose this. This is also a new book on my physical TBR, but you know what? It's fine. I told myself that I'm now on a book buying ban except for new releases and pre-orders, so we still should be able to make a dent in this TBR by the end of the year. Fingers crossed. So we're just gonna add this one because I don't know, I'm really excited about it. I haven't really heard anything about it except for that I think it was an option in the August book of the month box, which I don't subscribe to, but I think I saw that some people had chosen this for one of their books in the book of the month box. So I've seen a little bit about it as far as that goes, but I haven't seen anyone read it or anyone's like thoughts on it. So really excited. I need to take the sticker off ASAP. Oh yeah, it looks like it's gonna be an easy one to come off. Adding that one to the TBR. Okay, that was fun. 4th prompt. I can't even remember what prompts are in here. It's been a while since I've refilled it. Okay. Rude, literally rude. The longest book, which if you can tell at all based on my TBR, you probably already know what book that is because it's blaringly obvious. When the Moon Hatched. I literally don't even want to know how many pages this is. Like, it's absolutely crazy. Wait, you guys. 690. Okay, this is probably gonna sound like I'm cheating, but let me grab another book. Okay, it's not even that I don't want to read this, by the way, although look how big this book looks compared to this book, but this one's longer. This one is 699. Yeah, 699 pages versus 690. The only reason that this wasn't even on my cart to be chosen is because I am in the middle of this series right now, and I've kind of mentioned it, but I'm making a reading vlog on the series, and it's taking me a while because the books are a little bit bigger, but this is the next one I need to start. I haven't started it yet, so I wasn't even gonna have this be an option because I know that I'm reading it in September, which I think I said the same thing for my August TBR. However, I just decided to take a little longer reading this series than I originally was going to. So with all that being said, long explanation, we are going to be putting A Court of Wings and Ruin on the TBR. This series is adult romantasy with fae, and you probably already know what it's about, so that's all I'm gonna say about it. But yeah, I read the first 2 books. This is the next one I need to read. So with that being said, we're gonna add this to the TBR. Is that cheating because I was planning on reading it in September anyway? I don't know, but we're going with it. Last book going on the September TBR. Oh no! The lowest rated on Goodreads. Okay. I really don't know what it could be because I feel like sometimes some romances can have kind of low ratings, but I don't really have any romances on my cart except for, again, The Love Hypothesis and this Christmas one, which if it is this one, by the way, I'm not reading that because it's not Christmas time, okay? You can't get mad at me for that. So besides that, I really don't know. Maybe Uglies by Scott Westerfield? I have no idea. So I'm going to pause this, go on my Goodreads on my phone, screen record, and then come back with our lowest rated book on my physical TBR according to Goodreads. What do you know that this was the lowest book? Like, literally, how did I guess that? I mean, Christmas romance, usually they're just fun for Christmas and they're not anything to write home about, so I just had a feeling that was going to be low. I was also on the right track with Uglies because that was the 3rd lowest book. Oh, the 4th? I already forgot. Basically, because I said I'm not reading this one, the one that was the next lowest was actually Anatomy: A Love Love Story by Dana Schwartz. I was kind of surprised about this one, and I honestly am still like kind of confident that I'm at least gonna like it. And it wasn't like horrible. I think it was, I already forgot, 3.8 something average star rating. My usual go-to kind of minimum rating when, let's say, I'm at Barnes & Noble or a thrift store and I see a book and I decide that I want to look at Goodreads just to see if it's like really bad, because then I'm not gonna buy it. But I would say that usually if it has a 3.8 or up, I'm still gonna buy it, because I think at that point some people love it and some people don't. But when it has like a 3.5 rating or lower, it's kind of like, okay, this book just is not very good. A lot of people don't like it. So I'm still pretty confident that I'm at least gonna like this book. I don't know if I'm gonna love it, but this is the first book in a duology. I don't have the second one yet, and I'm also kind of happy because this is kind of, I think, a fall-esque book, because as it says right here, it is a gothic tale full of mystery and romance. I will read you guys the summary. Hazel Sinnott is a lady who wants to be a surgeon more than she wants to marry. Jack Kerr is a body snatcher who's just trying to survive in a city where it's too easy to die. When the two of them have a chance encounter outside the Edinburgh Anatomists Society, Hazel thinks little of it at first, but after she gets kicked out of lectures given by renowned surgeon Dr. Beecham for being the wrong gender, she realizes that her new acquaintance Jack might actually be of use to her, because Hazel has made a deal with Dr. Beecham. If she can pass the medical examination on her own, Beecham will allow her to continue her medical career, but without official lessons, Hazel will need more than just her books. She'll need corpses to study. Luckily, Jack digs them up for a living. But Jack has his own problems. Strange men have been seen skulking around cemeteries, his friends are disappearing off the streets, and the dreaded Roman fever, which wiped out thousands a few years ago, is back with a vengeance. Nobody important cares except for Hazel. It's pretty short. It's like barely above 300 pages. The text is really big, so this should be a quick read, and I think it sounds interesting and fun. And I have heard decent things about it from the people that I've seen read it on like BookTube and stuff, so even though it has kind of a low average rating on Goodreads, I'm still excited about this one, which I was a little bit nervous when I got that prompt that I wouldn't want to read the book that it chose. But this was on my fall TBR, so I think we knocked off 2 fall TBR books on this monthly TBR, so that is good. All right, for a recap, we have Rose and Chains by Julie Sono, The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig, Flamefall by Rosaria Munda, Immortal Consequences by I.V. Marie, A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas, and Anatomy, A Love Story by Dana Schwartz. Okay guys, so that is it. We have, let's see, we have pretty much all fantasy. This is romantasy. This is, I think, more fantasy than romantasy, but I'm not sure. This is also more fantasy than romantasy. Young adult. This is young adult romantasy. This is adult romantasy. And this is, I think, YA, but don't quote me on that. Romance mystery. Oh, and don't forget Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier something. Sorry, I almost forgot about that book, which is a little bit different because I don't think it's fantasy. I think it's more just like mystery. As I said, I was feeling like fantasy and fallish books, so I'm happy with that TBR. As usual, let me know if you guys have read any of these books and what your thoughts were, which ones I should prioritize for September, because no promises that I will read all of them. I usually don't read all of the books. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!